Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another Facebook Live and YouTube Live here on our Altenew channels. I'm so happy to be here with you again to be crafting. It's been 2 months, so it's been a little bit hard since I've stepped down from the design team. I still wanted to do the Facebook Lives, but life is pretty busy, pretty hectic. And so I'm so happy to be with you today. I haven't crafted since the last Facebook Live, so let's see how this goes. Hi, Sue. Hi, Xiomara. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Lynn. It's so nice to see all the familiar faces. So I had to dive into my Altenew supplies to see what I could use. I haven't gotten anything new since, I think, April or May. Or maybe June, I think it was. So I'm just going to use some oldies and goodies. I did make sure they're all in the store. So if you haven't got these lovely products, that you can still grab them. And I don't know who's behind the Altenew badge. I'm really, I'm oblivious to it all. So we do have a lovely helper there. So there we go. Now, I think you all know the drill here, but if you do share this stream while it is live, we will pick a lucky winner out of all those people have shared, and you will get a gift certificate. Hallo Esmeralda, hoe gaat het daar in Nederland? There we go. It's Angel. There we go. It's one or the other. Hi there, Angel. Thank you for being there to help me today. So what are we going to do? Or what am I going to do while you watch me or create with me? I do hope you're maybe crafting or planning some crafting, or maybe just watching and relaxing with a hot chocolate or some nice tea, or maybe you're in a warm place and just enjoying the sunshine. So today I thought I'd create some Christmas-inspired cards or holiday-related cards. And I pulled out a couple of supplies. I wanted something easy, but at the same time to craft. Oh, there, switch off. I've got my phone on there. So I wanted to create something easy, but at the same time relaxing. So I thought some coloring would be really, really good. So I'm just going to show you some of the supplies that I've got here. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to try and hold it up like this to the screen. So this is the Classic Pinecones Slim embossing folder. There we go. We do have, I know Altenew also has some, oh dear, what's it called again? You see, I haven't crafted in a long time. Embossing folders. No, not embossing folders, coloring folders. There we go. So, but this one I thought would be nice. And then I've also got the Buffalo Plaid, which is this one. I thought this was a little bit Christmassy. There we go. And then I also wanted to do the embossing folder with the Poinsettias, but it's out of stock, so I'm not going to show that. But you could do something very similar with any of the other embossing folders. I'm going to do kind of Christmas-related ones, but you could do anything. You could use any of the embossing folders. This is also a great technique if you want to use some of the flower embossing folders, which are lovely as well. So I've also pulled out this stamp set, which is called Blessings, if I'm not mistaken. That's what my little label says. Yes, a stencil. There we go. Oh, I'm tired. It's been very hectic. I've got lots of new responsibilities at work, and I'm still trying to get used to them. And so it's called the Blessing stamp set. I did pull out another one, but it was already sold out, which I think, yeah, with the Christmas season and the holiday season coming up, everybody is going to go for holiday-related supplies. So this one, I love it because it's got lots and lots of lovely sentiments on it. You can also use them for the inside of the cards. And then you've got some lovely, I think, like happy holidays. Some of them are a little bit more like religious and everything, but some of them are very neutral, and I think this is a lovely set to use. So there we go, a little sentiment set to use just to create a little sentiment for our cards. So, and the last product I'm going to be using is going to be really simple. I said something simple. I haven't crafted in a while. I don't want to start panicking on Facebook, which usually does happen, and I make a blunder or a mistake. I've also pulled out my woodless coloring pencils here. I thought it'd be just fun to do a little bit of coloring, and I find it pretty relaxing. So there we go. I pulled those out. So we're going to get started. I'm going to switch to my second camera, and then we can start crafting with these lovely supplies. Let's see if I can still do this. It's over here. It's funny how a couple of months without doing something, you kind of forget how to switch cameras. But there we go. There it is. It's been a long time since I've seen this lovely work surface. So there we go. If you've just joined us, hello everyone. Hi Cece, and don't forget to share. And I'm kind of losing my voice, which is not a really good thing because tomorrow I have singing lessons. So not a very good thing. I'll just have a good, nice tea before going to bed and just hope everything is okay tomorrow. So this is the coloring set, which is all pretty and lovely and hasn't been used a lot, as you can see. So we're going to use that. I don't know which folder do you want me to use first? You can choose. Let's make this a little bit interactive. So we've got the buffalo plaid, and then we've got the classic pine cones, the slim line one. Just tell me which one you want to use, and we can go ahead and use one of them first, but we'll be using both of them. Okay, plaid. Sue was first. There we go. It's like the students who puts their hand up first does it. Well, pine cones will be afterwards. You'll just have to wait a little bit. Sorry. So I'm going to just pull out my little die cut machine. Now, I haven't got a lot of working space of my computer up there, so we'll just work like this. So I'm going to pull out. I'm going to do this one, I think, on some white cardstock. So let me just, I still have some white cardstock. So if Altenew, if you still want me to do lives, you'll have to send me some smooth white cardstock because I'm out of it. I still found like a couple of pieces. So for my next live, Sue, you don't have these. There we go. We can see. I mean, this one, the buffalo plaid, it's not one I probably would have purchased myself, but I have used it several times. So I'm just going to pop it between. Just go like this. And I haven't got my spritzer here, so we're just going to do it like this. Usually I do give it a light spritz so that it doesn't break, but this is like the white, this isn't cardstock that would like split or break easily. So now, oh, no, this is already wrong. You see, I'm an old crafter now. I don't know how to use my things. 2 plates won't work, Lilith. So let's just run this through the machine. We'll use the slim line afterwards. Don't worry. There we go. I'll pop this to one side. There we go. So here you can see, and I didn't line anything up, so we'll just work with what we've got. I would have probably just kind of made sure these were in the middle, but there we go. So here you can see it's got really nice texture on both sides, and it already just makes a great background as such. You could just go in with some a blender and just blend some color onto it, but I'm going to use my little woodless coloring pencils and just add some color to that. So let's go. So I thought we'd go with some traditional holiday inspired colors. There we go. So let me just open. So in this set, you get like all the lovely colors. So I'm going to go with some reds. So I'll probably take Heartbeat and maybe a little bit of crimson. Let's just see how that goes. And then for our greens, well, the Shadow Creek is a really lovely Christmassy green. But I might go with a slightly lighter shade as well, which is Grassfield. Okay. Might be just fun just to have like different shades of the 2 colors. And don't you think the box is just so pretty? Look at that. I would just buy it just to showcase the box, put it on a chest of drawers just to make it so just pretty. Everything, like all the packaging at Altenew is really pretty. So I'm just going to start coloring some of these sections. So I'm going to kind of respect or kind of use the squares that I can see on here. And then I'm just going to kind of alternate with the different colors. I'm going to start with the darkest shade and then see if I might even like go with a dark shade of red, a light shade of green, and then a lighter shade of red and then darker shade of green. I'm going to see how this goes. So I might just zoom you in a teeny tiny bit. There we go. I can't see any comments anymore. I do hope this is still working. Because there we go. So let's start. So I'm just going to go, because we've got like upper sections and lower sections here, I think it might be a good thing to do like dark at the bottom. Oh no, dark at the top. And then maybe on the line in the middle, go lighter. I think I'm going to do that instead of, there we go. I'm just starting to realize that if I'm going to have to color in all the pine cones, it's going to take a really, really long time. So here I'm just doing the upper sections of those stripes. And it would have been a little bit better if my pencils were a little blunt. Because now that they're sharp, it's just a little bit harsh, the lines, but we'll go over it. We'll fix that. Okay. See, I'm going over the lines. Oh, I should have kind of marked them off. I'm a blind person, probably. Let's just see if I've got my erasers here. No, I haven't. I kind of put everything away and I kind of forgot where I put everything. Let's just work with what we've got. See, I do hope this is still working because I can't see any comments. So I just have to maybe check and see if I can make a comment myself. I can make a comment myself. Oh, well, I can see myself, so that's still good. There we go. Up. Joop, joop, joop. So I went over the lines there. Oh, dear. It's not a good thing, Lilith, coloring outside of the lines. Oh, good, you're here. All good. I still want to find an eraser because I need an eraser. Let's just look. I think I popped everything in my craft box. I'm just going to look through that. Might be sort of my craft box. I know the kids were here, so it might be that. Oh, I can use this one. Let's just try this one. Okay. I've got to make this good. Oh, that will be okay once I go over it with the green. They don't really crush it because I'm not like really pressing very hard on it. The woodless coloring pencils, they're quite, I kind of call them smooth. It's not really smooth. It's just they just go on really easily. So you don't really have to press very hard. I don't know if I maybe have it like a piece of, oh, this is a piece of scrap paper. Here I'm hardly pressing and I've already got color. So if you're afraid of it crushing, you could just pop it back into your die cut machine. So that's not an issue at all. There we go. So, and oh, I was going in with the lighter shade. So I'm just going to quickly go over with the darker shade. I quite like the look of this. It looks a bit like candy cane. So I think I'm going to just leave the light in the middle. There we go. And now I'm going to go in with my green. I think I'm going to use the darker shade. And for the green, I'm going to go inside. So I'm going to go with the next square, which is next to it here. But instead, I'm going to color inside the lines. Just to kind of... And I'm already feeling a lot more relaxed. There we go. When I'm coloring, and I do this often if I'm also watercoloring and everything, with the way that my lights are set up, sometimes it falls in such a way that I don't see all the parts. So I kind of turn the paper around just to make sure that I have got it in, that I've got it every section. And just by changing the angle, you will see things differently. So which is, I think, is a really good tip. Okay. I should have taken an embossing image which was small and tiny. So we're back on the top here with these sections. And once again, I'm kind of just going to draw the lines so that I know that I don't color in too far. There we go. I don't know, have you already put up all your Christmas decorations? Probably yes. I'm still late. But I'm used to doing it after the 6th of December when we do St. Nicholas here. So in Belgium, we celebrate St. Nicholas, and he brings the kids gifts and speculaas, like we call it. And then usually I put up the tree. But seeing all the Christmas decorations in the stores, and with the gloomy grey weather we've had, I think I might just put it up this weekend, our trees, our decorations, just to make it a little bit more fun at home. Oh, Tracy, I know. This is going to be our second Christmas without our dad. And it's kind of bittersweet every time. It's... There we go. Whew, let's continue. This is going to be a lot easier because it's all flat. So let's go inside once again. And I kind of forgot about how smooth these pencils are. I really love coloring with them. I'm going to try during the Christmas break or our holiday break. We've got 2 weeks to try and do a little bit of maybe coloring or watercoloring. Not necessarily create a project, because that seems like a bit... I kind of get anxious when I think about creating a project like a layout, or even just... Ooh, did a little mishap there. It's okay. No worries. So I think I might just do something like a bit of coloring, or maybe stamping, like one flower and a bit of watercoloring, just to slowly get back into the hang of crafting. There we go. I'm not going to do the borders because I do want to have like a little nice white border around it, or I might just cut it out and maybe do something like that. We do have a kind of a Christmas celebration at school. I did have the choir last year, but this year was really just too hard to organize it at school because we have to do it at lunch break and they only have like 45 minutes. So this year we don't have any, we're not going to do, and I'm not going to do any kind of music thing. I'd love to be a music teacher, but no, I'm a Dutch teacher and an English teacher. So I teach French kids how to speak English and Dutch. So let's continue with our green here. Oh, there we go. I already knew I was going to do something silly and I've done it. Let's just try and... Okay, we'll just have to get some nice sequins and make sure we don't see that. I really need to go and get my new glasses because at the end of the day, I'm really having a hard time seeing things close up. Lots of nice green. This is a lovely color. So this one is called the Shadow Creek. And I really love all the colors you get in here. You could go with different colors. You could go with like pinks and purples, or maybe like turquoise and purple would work really nice together as well. For the middle sections, or for these sections here, which are all like just smooth, oh yeah. Today it was really hard. The kids, it's been so gloomy here, and I think everyone is having a hard time. We had like a really gloomy summer and then a really gloomy winter. And if you don't get enough light, you just become miserable. Or some people become miserable. And I teach teenagers, so they have a hard time, I think. Life's not easy for them. So I'm just going to color the whole section here. And I usually start working in one direction. And just to make sure that I have a smooth finish, I would go over it in, like, I would start diagonally and then work, then just flip it like the page around and then just go over it into that section. And then I'll just flip it. I'll just like work in 4 sections, just flipping it 90 degrees each time. And that way I'm sure I get like, oh, that's, and I'm trying not to change the pressure on my pencil, because if I do, the color is just going to darken, and I don't want that to happen. And I'm already doing that. So if you do want it to darken a bit, you can just like press down just a little bit harder, and then you will just get a little bit of a darker shade. And I was thinking of maybe for this section doing kind of an ombre effect. So I think I'm going to start a little darker at the bottom. So I'm just going to add my darker shade. This is crimson. So I went in with the heartbeat first, and then I'm just going to add that crimson at the bottom. And just going to kind of press a little bit harder here at the bottom, and then just lighten it as I work my way up. Just kind of. And I just kind of stop at a certain point and then just start again, and just until I have the desired effect. And if you wanted to do just, and then I'm going to go back over with my heartbeat, and once again just press it a little bit harder, and then just work my way up ever so slightly. And then I kind of just rub it a little bit with my finger, or you could use like a Q-tip or something like that. Now you will see the grain of the paper just a little bit. But by working in different sections, like diagonally, in different diagonals, sections, and then horizontally and vertically, you will get a nice, good covering. There we go. So I've got a nice little ombre effect in there. And let's continue. So we've got our green again. And let's just work on the insides again, Lilith. Just reminding myself. Sometimes I do feel a little bit silly on these lives. I feel like I'm just sitting here by myself, talking to myself. I know you're on the other side, but somebody popping in would think, what is she doing talking to herself like that? She must be crazy. And, I'm going to try and work a bit faster because we still got to do our pine cones. Okay, let's start by coloring this in as well. Now, I was looking through the Altenew supplies and I was thinking, do we have something with like candy stamps? I didn't find anything, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't look through all of my supplies. So I thought it would have been nice just to stamp like a couple of candy shapes and just pop it on the card. But I didn't find any. I'm going to go back in diagonally just to get this nice and smooth. But I already think you get a pretty smooth finish compared to other crayons. And this time I'm going to do my ombre on the top just to make it things a little bit different, change it up a bit. There we go. I really love coloring. I've always loved coloring. When I was small, I would always ask for coloring books as presents, and I would hide them from my sisters because they would like do scribbles and I wanted to do everything neatly. And my mom had this technique where she would sharpen the pencils and she would keep like the color, and then she would take a Q-tip and then color to get the really light shades. So I would mimic that. And then sometimes she would color in one or two of the images and I would be so happy because they would look so beautiful. I probably still have them in a box somewhere. I had my favorite book was one with Peter Rabbit. It was my favorite coloring book ever. There we go. So we've got our little ombre effect over there. And let's go in with our reds over here because we're going to continue working on our top sections here. And to try and speed this up a bit. Just letting it look. I can't color any faster than this. Should have taken something a little bit more simple. Ooh, I've got an idea. I could like cut shapes out of these and then use those on a card. That would kind of speed the process up. I really love this color. This is so pretty. Oh, using some ribbon on this would look really great as well. Some red or green ribbon. And you tie a bow on it. Go. Oh, green. I much prefer coloring the green because it's really on the inside. There we go. I was wondering, do I have some green ribbon? I don't have a lot of ribbon left, which is a shame, because that would have looked really nice, some red ribbon or some green ribbon on this. There we go. Red again. Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to do this last row because I think then I could cut out some shapes with it. I've already got an idea in mind. I'm just going to finish off this row and I think I'll have enough to cut out some circles and make some baubles with it. Should have put on a little bit of music in the background. But I must say, here it's quite hard to get into kind of that festive mood because in a lot of Belgian schools, they have like just their first like big exam session, like period, which is just before our Christmas break. So we start like in 10 days time. And our last day of school is the 23rd. So I'm going to use this. I already think that's so pretty. If you can, oh, I do think I would have loved to have finished the whole card, but I don't think I'm going to have time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can find a circle die, but that's not something which is I'm going to find easily. Oh dear. I don't have anything on hand to cut something out. And I don't want to do strips. I'm going to try and kind of think of a way to use this. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Because I didn't kind of emboss this really in the center like I wanted to, I'm just going to cut out a strip like this. Let me just see. Okay. Oh, that's a bit large. Let's just cut it off a little bit. Hum. Why do I hum? Okay. I know Lydia does hum. I could sing. I could practice my song for tomorrow. No, there we go. Look, I've made a card. There we go, a mini card. But I'm just going to maybe see, I've got some second piece of cardstock here. Because we could just pop it on there and create that fun look. So I'm just going to pop some double-sided tape. I do still have my double-sided tape. I still use this, even though I'm not crafting. And my scissors, oh, they have gone to school. There we go. There we go. So we're just going to add some dimension. There we go. Like this. And I think this would look so pretty with a little bit of ribbon, but I don't think I have a lot of ribbon. But just that section with the like that is already very, very pretty. And if you would have like a stamped Christmas ornament in the middle, that would look really, really nice as well. So here we've got some sentiments. So let's see what we could put on there. I do have to get out some black ink. There we go. So what are we going to use? I do like the happy holidays. I'm going to do the happy holidays and maybe stamp a second one. We'll just see how that looks. Happy holidays. And I have got a little bit piece of scrap paper here. Let's just pop this down. And there we go. Ooh, always so pretty to see the the obsidian ink work. The exceptionally crisp. It says it. It's exceptionally crisp. And I don't have anything to clean my stamps. There we go. Give that a little wipe. Happy holidays. Let's just put that back in. I'm already going to cut this out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to give this a little trim, and I might just give this a little. Just going to add a teeny tiny bit of detail. Happy holidays, like so. And then I'm going to add my final touch, which I love to add, which is the little, let's see if somebody knows. What are we going to add? Drum roll. Who knows me best? I'm going to add a little scribbles around the edges. Let's just go with our little scribbles. And one scribble doesn't look neat, but 2 or 3 always look a lot better. There we go. Doodle lines. There we go. I think I'm going to add it somewhere here at the bottom, like so, because I just think that looks nice. And then if I wanted to, I could just slip like a little ornament. Yeah, yes, here I'm using the Altenew fine liner. This is the 01. I often use the 01 or the 02 for my little doodle lines around the edges. So let's just pop on a little bit more of that lovely tape. There we go, because I like it when it's very 3D, like so. There we go. And then I could add a couple of enamel dots. Let's just see if I've got the green and the red. Do I have green and red? That is the question. See, oh, I do have some red. Ooh, it's not the same green. I need a bright green. That's always the issue. The red is okay here. Let's just add some red. Can I add some red? It's quite difficult to add enamel dots onto textured. Just try and stick them on there a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to add them. Just pop them in the green maybe. There we go. Oh, stick. I'm going to just pop them in the green sections. There we go. Just added 3 little enamel dots. And there we have it. I know it does. You don't have to like fiddle around. Oh, I hate doing that. That's the least, that's the awful thing to do sometimes, trying to peel off the paper. So there we go. So that's, oh, sorry. Little bit of a mishap there. There we go. Wanting to put something in the bin, and there I go again. Okay, that's done. Okay, second time, third time, last time. Okay, let's just put this straight again. Sorry for the little earthquake there. Okay, let's just put this correctly. Okay, there we go. It should be stable now. Should be. Something always happens. Okay, if I don't stamp something incorrectly or heat emboss something incorrectly, I just hit over the tripod. Why not? So this is our first little card. There we go. All pretty and all done. There we go. And me thinking this would go smoothly because I'm doing something simple, but no. There we go. It's always fun crafting with me. Lydia said, you'll be awesome. Sure. I'll be very clumsy, especially that. So let's work on our pine cones now, because a lot of you wanted to see the lovely classic pine cones. There we go. So here is our pine cone set. And I'm standing up now because I'm getting a little bit antsy sitting down. I'm just going to pull out the cardstock I cut for this. I cut it a little bit larger just to make sure that afterwards I could cut it down smaller. So I prefer just for it to be a little bit larger. That way I can really get all the image in there. And then if I want to, I can just trim it off to the size I need. So I'm going to take out my machine. Got some hair stuck in my lip gloss. So I do need an embossing plate, but okay, here's one. I don't know where the other one is. So let's just emboss this pretty little image. There we go. Let's push it through. Oh, go. Of course this won't work. The plate is underneath. So I can confirm after 2 months of non-crafting, you become rusty and it doesn't work anymore. Come on, go through. There we go. Okay. Hopefully this did work. Come on. Let's put you on the little cart. There we go. Oh, and there we go. Look at that. I just love, 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 love all the texture on here. Thank you for encouraging me, Tina. But sometimes I don't do great. There we go. So we're going to choose some colors for our lovely pine cones. And I could have done it on some black cardstock as well. I'm going to just emboss this, and then I can just show you. I won't be able to finish it, but I might just show you how it would look if you would use a black cardstock. There we go. Let's just emboss this. I'm going to use the bottom section. There we go. I love embossing with black paper and then using the coloring pencils on it. So go. We've got that for afterwards. Look how that looks on the black cardstock. So I will show you how that looks once you start coloring on the black cardstock. So there we go. So we're going to take out some new colors. So we'll probably keep the greens, and we're going to take out some nice brown colors. Put those back in, the reds. That's going to be for afterwards. I'm going to pick out some brown colors here. So this is paper bag. I might just take out the Sicilian amber as well and just see how that works. I'm going to pop out a little white as well. And then I might just use some other colors afterwards for the black just to show you how that looks. There we go. So, our pine cones. So I'm just going to color them in like so. I don't like it when my pencils are too sharp. I know that's a funny thing to say, especially when I'm coloring on embossed images. I like them to be a little bit blunt. So I'm just going to start with the darker shade. And I'm not worrying about going too much into like the embossed areas, the downsides. So the valleys, like I call them, because I do want to see like the different elements of the pine cones. So I'm just kind of going over it like I would if I were using my blending brush and a stencil. So just letting the pencil do all the work. That's why I do prefer it when it's a little bit blunt, because the surface is just that little bit larger. And so it's a lot easier to start coloring in. So I'm doing this quite quickly. As you can see, I'm just kind of moving over it. And you will hear like when it goes over the higher sections and the lower sections, and it will be darker where you kind of hit the different grooves. And the good thing is that you can still see those intersections. What do I use to sharpen my pencil? Or just normal pencil sharpener. I did buy a kind of a craft at a craft store. I did buy like a special pencil sharpener. It had like, I can't find it. I think the kids stole it as well. My kids steal everything. So there we go. So this pine cone is going that way. The other one, like the bottom section is here. So I'm going to turn it around so that when I color it, I go in the same direction. I'm just going to add a little bit of the Sicilian amber just to get like some different shades in there, so that the color is a little bit different. There we go. There we go. So now I'm going to do the same with this one over here. Just checking the time. Oh, okay. The pine cones will be done at the end. So I'm going to do the same. And I'm really trying just to work in the same direction. So here I'm really coloring horizontally. So I'm keeping that same movement. And I'm not pressing down too hard. I'm just going like back and forth, and letting the pencil just color there where it hits the paper. And I think that's the most important thing. And the smooth parts will be a little bit lighter, and then like the edges will be a little bit darker, but that's what gives that kind of nice effect when you're coloring this. I don't know if you can see it, the edges are just that little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to go in with the, well, there you go. Tracy gave you a good reference. There we go. Look at how easy these are going. Ooh, simple, simple. And no messy hands. So once again, here, this one starts here. So for this technique, for example, with the pine cones, you have to really start at the bottom. If you could start at the top as well, probably. It wouldn't hit the same way. But I wouldn't advise you to work vertically like this on the pine cones. There you go. A little bit more of that. I do think the Sicilian gives it kind of a little bit more of a softer, warmer color. Kind of softens the cone a little bit, gives it a bit of like a yellowy tone, yellowy hue. There we go. Pine cones are looking beautiful. I know it is a beautiful embossing folder. So this pine cone, we're kind of looking on the top. So I'm going to start like in the middle. Just kind of work my way like this. And because this one is the middle one, I might just go a different direction on this just to see what would happen. So I'm just going to finish this off. I'm just going to turn. Yeah, turning this one does make a little bit of a difference. There we go. So I do want to kind of go. And let's go back in with our little lighter shade. And you can see I'm doing this like quite quickly. The only thing I'm really careful with is not to go too much out around the edges. There we go. Well, a couple more to go. This is quick. This is fast. And you could do this like in different, if you wanted to go a little bit funky, you could really choose like different colors for this. And maybe at the end, just with like a tiny blending tool, add a little bit of gold embossing ink onto that, just to give it that like kind of little bit of sparkle. There we go. I'm not sure there is one to fit, but Angel could maybe be more precise on that. But I mean, here I just embossed it onto a normal card, and you could just cut off the edges if you wanted to. I'm quite astounded to see how quick this is. It's quite fast. I like it when it's fast and I don't have to fiddle around too much. These are the Altenew woodless coloring pencils. So the whole pencil is the coloring pencil. So and they're really smooth. They have like a really smooth finish. There we go. Yeah, it's just the slim one. Boop, boop, boop. I think I've done, oh no, nearly done. There were some pine cones over the edges. Okay. One more here. I think I went over the edges there. Let's just see if I can raise that a bit. Silly me. There we go. Let's just do the last one because we still have to do our green. There we go. Got all the pine cones done. And here I kind of went, I thought this was pine cone, but I think these are, oh, that's pine cone. Those aren't leaves, that's pine cone. Are those leaves? No, that's pine cone. I don't know anymore. There we go. So here you can see all our pine cones that have been colored. So now I'm going to do all my little leaves. And I think I'm just going to do the same. I'm just going to color it very roughly, but I'm going to keep it very flat. So I'm just going to kind of color it like this, keeping it very, very flat, and just making sure, being very careful that I don't touch the pine cones, because keeping it flat, Lilith, flat, 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 flat. So I just want to hit the top parts. So as you can see, I'm just kind of rubbing this over the sections, and it's just lying flat on the card. And then I'm just kind of rubbing. It's like when you're rubbing on bark. There we go. And if you do this, the crayon or the coloring pencils are just going to hit on the upper sections, and you won't color in between. So but just keep them very flat, and just be careful not to color in where you've got your pine cones. And this is super duper easy. See, you can't do this with normal coloring pencils. Look at how easy this is. Sorry, I kind of forgot to put you in screen. There we go. And we've got our green in there. So we've done that. I do want to add a little bit of a Christmassy touch, a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to see if I can find my... No, those aren't the ones. So I've got some mini blending brushes over here, and I need... I'm just going to get some gold embossing ink. There we go. This is going to be perfect. So here I've got some enchanted gold pigment ink. Okay, so I don't have any clean brushes. I'm just going to kind of clean one brush a little bit. I'm just going to dab this a little bit into the gold. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of brush this over my pine cones. It's just so pretty. And it just adds a little tiny, teeny shimmer. You could also do this with the Altenew metallic watercolors. Come on. There we go. And that just adds a little bit of shine. I don't know if you can see it when I hold it up to the screen. Just look how they are a little bit shiny. There we go. Oh, thank you. There we go. So this is something you could also add this to. So I'm just going to use the smaller one. You could also do this without the black. Just wanted to show you how it would look on the black. So I could use maybe a larger one. On this kind of black paper, or if it had black cardstock, you could also do it with the metallic watercolors. So on the black, this is how it would look. See? So this is another way, and this would make a really, really elegant kind of card if you would go with the black. So there you have it. I was also thinking of the black. You could also work with these kind of colors. I might show it you on the back, because they do look really, really nice on black cardstock, the watercolor pencils. See? There we go. So this is just kind of my test sheet, just to show you how it would look on the black. So for example, I would do that same technique, but just with like this pink pencil on the pine cone. It just gives a little bit of a different effect and kind of looks very funky. But you could do this maybe with a flower set or something like that. You could even add just like a bit of purple to it, just to give like a bit of a fun little twist. And then a little bit of white as well, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit, just to give it kind of that. So if you would use like the pinks and the purples in the coloring pencils, you would get this kind of effect on the black. So that would look really, really nice as well. And what's fun, if you use these coloring pencils on black cardstock, on dark cardstock, it kind of has a shiny effect. It's not shiny at all, but it does have that effect because it's on the black paper. So that's another way of using them. So I don't have time to finish off this card. I'd probably add maybe a center, like a little strip of brown paper, or maybe a nice big brown ribbon, and then the sentiment on that, just to break the card up a little bit. I would probably trim off the edges. So, but here are just a couple of ideas on how to use the embossing folders to create like fun cards. And the black one, I think the image on the screen doesn't do it justice, because it's really, really pretty if you see that. And you could do like, you could take this color for the leaves and do the same technique, like just put it flat against your paper. And then you would have something like this. There we go. This color, maybe with like another kind of bluey green, would look really well with kind of the tropical embossing folders we have, with like the ferns or the kind of monstera leaves or things like that. So I think I'm going to try my next look with maybe some of those kind of embossing folders. So there you have it, a couple of ideas using the embossing folders and the woodless coloring pencils from Altenew. If you're looking for a lovely gift to give someone who loves crafting and coloring, this set is amazing. I've used a lot of my other ones, which came in a little box, in a little tube like that, but these are fabulous. I have used these a lot, and they're still pretty sharp. Sometimes I'm a little bit annoyed because I do like them sometimes a bit blunt to have like a smoother finish. But if you're looking for a great gift, these are wonderful. And go and check out the Altenew YouTube channel and on Instagram, because there's some lovely inspiration with the woodless coloring pencils as well. So I am going to just switch you to my other camera. There we go. I'm back. All hot from on the lights. So here you can see that first little card we made. And I do think it does feel nice and Christmassy. There we go. Ooh, super, super bright here. There we go. So this is the first little card we created. I would really like to see the whole background in this, and then maybe add a fun, very bright red ornament on top. There we go. Then, so this was using the buffalo plaid. And then I made this card. So this was the Pinecones Slim, the Classic Pinecones Slim embossing folder, which I used the coloring pencils, but I also added a little bit of the Altenew Enchanted Gold pigment ink, just to make it, just to give it a little bit of shine. It's very subtle, but it does give that a little bit of a shine when you look at it. And then just to show you how you could use it on maybe some black cardstock, here I used once again the pigment ink. So if you can see them at the bottom there. And then I used once again those watercolor pencils, but then using kind of funky colors like pinks and purples, and a nice dewdrop. This one is dewdrop. So there you have it. You could, Tracy. I think it's such a versatile. I went the kind of, I thought it reminded a little bit of candy cane with the stripes. And like I've got a plaid, which has got these kind of greens and reds for Christmas. But you could do it like in any shade. You could make like go with very soft pastel colors for maybe a baby card. You could do it with like blacks and grays to make a very dramatic card. You could just create something with it as a background and then just pop an image on top. So it's a really, you could just switch out all the colors and make it very, very versatile. And there you go. So that was one finished card. Could have done better, but there you go. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you all for sharing and commenting and following along and enjoying the ride with me with my little mishaps and the camera movements and everything. Something always goes wrong on Facebook. that makes them really fun as well. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely end of the week. It's Friday tomorrow. That you have a little bit of crafting time this weekend as well. And I will hope to see you very soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And a huge shout out to Angel, who is behind the badge and who's been popping in all the links and answering all your questions. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.